You need to trust God now. Our God is faithful. So he teaches us here that you're going to go through some stuff, but you're going to have to trust that God will take you through it. And this is what literally brings us to the essence of getting to the 8th chapter. Because by the time we get to the 8th chapter, we see several things have literally taken place. He finds himself reasoning based upon his personal understanding. And he sees certain things happening, and he's wrestling with what he's been going through. And he's talking to his friend. He has 3 friends who have been trying to counsel him. Eliphaz, who is philosophical; Bildad, who is practical and theological; and he has Zophar, who is dogmatic. Now understand the difference between them, because Eliphaz wants to reason the process and say, listen, there's got to be something that had to happen, that all this stuff happened to you. Maybe you displeased God. Zophar is dogmatic. He's brash. He says, listen here, you clearly can't call on God for yourself, because there must be too much sin in your life. I'm going to pray for God to come and help you. And so you need to, there's something wrong with y'all got some folk, y'all don't look at me like that. When you go through, they say, yes, they just getting what they deserve. I remember when they did such and such. You know, you got some people who will look at your past and bring it up in your calamity and use your past as the reason why you're going through your present situation. But God has reasons that's beyond what people see. Tell your neighbor, there's reasons beyond what you see. Yeah. But then in our text today, he's dealing with the one called Bildad. And Bildad is practical and theological. He believed it must have been Job's children that his demise was the reason why it happened to him. Notice what he says in the 8th chapter that we are in here. He says, if your children, in the 4th verse, have sinned against him and have cast he have cast them away from their transgressions. If you would just seek unto God betimes and make that supplication to the Almighty, if you just be pure and upright, surely he'll wait for you, and he'll wait for you and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. That God gonna give you a comeback if you just go on and confess. Your children was tore up. You didn't raise them right. They should have got what they got. You know, just go on and do it. And God just, he just wants you to be honest. He just wants you to go and tell the truth about your situation here. And Job replies this particular way, that humans cannot win an argument in the court of life against the Creator. That whatever the word is, when God gives it, God has the last word. Somebody talk to your neighbor and say, God has the last word. And then his friend had to say and made this particular comment to him. This is where our scripture comes from. Because our scripture, we look at it and we shout over it. But he did not mean it this way when he said it to Job. He said to Job, he says, though your beginning was small, yet at your latter end you shall greatly increase. He was basically saying, if you go on and get it right now, God will turn your situation out and bless you. He didn't really understand that he was really prophesying to Job. He was really, he meant it for one way, but God meant it for another. And so he looked at it. Listen, yes, my beginning was small, but look, God has something that's in store for me. You see, God will make your critic talk up on your next blessing. Somebody not help me here and talk to your neighbor and say, God will make your critic talk up on your next blessing. Listen here, your critic sometime will show you where God's getting ready to bless you next. Your critic sometime will bring attention to you that's going to send a blessing your way that wouldn't have come your way if your critic hadn't opened their mouth, called themselves tearing you up. Sometimes people trying to tear you up are blessing you more than the people who say they love you with their mouth shut. My God, that's why I like where the old folk used to say, talk about me as much as you please. The more you talk, I'm going to stay on my knees. I understand that God is able to bless me and turn my situation around. And so he teaches us then, when you are in a quandary, when you're in a difficult situation, with confidence is how you need to present yourself. Say that to your neighbor, with confidence is how you need to present yourself. Say it again, with confidence is how you need to present yourself. Understand the root of the word confidence is confide. So take a moment and just confide in God about where you are. Notice what he said in Job 23:8. He says, behold, I go forward and he is not there. I go backwards, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand that I cannot see him. But he says in Job 23:10, but he knows the way that I take. And when he have tried me, I shall come forth. Ask God, talk to your neighbor, say, I'm getting ready to get better. I'm getting ready to get better. He sets himself up to literally say that God knows the way that I should take through this situation. My greatest opportunity is in God. Would you help me? Just tell your neighbor, your greatest opportunity is in God. Somebody's got to make a decision this week. I want you to know that your greatest opportunity is to include God, because my greatest opportunity is in God, because God determines what is right for me. And when he had tried me, when God determines that this test is done, that my struggle is over, when God determines that I'm not going to have to go through this anymore, my statement is, I'm ready to present myself. Look out now. Somebody ought to help me. Just tell your neighbor, look out, look out. Because when God does the next thing he's going to do in my life, you're going to see me in a different way. You're going to see me operate a different way. You're going to see me live a different way. As a matter of fact, you're going to even see me praise a different way. When the next station that God does for me is going to turn some things around and help me to see how great he is. When he does this, I understand I'm not trying to live like a sinner. I'm trying to live like a saint here. Sinners try to hide from God in trouble. Believers try to hide in God. When I go through situations, I'm diving in saying, God, let me in. God, have your way in my life. God, make it happen for me. When he tried me, I shall present myself. I shall come forth. Look at your name and say, coming forth. Yeah. When you understand coming forth, you understand that God gives you an opportunity to come out of trouble looking good. Tell your neighbor, come out of your trouble looking good. Oh, you didn't talk to him. You need to grab somebody by the hand and tell them you need to come out of this trouble looking good. Come out of your trouble looking good. What do you mean here? I'm coming forth with battle scars, but I'm still coming. With a sketchy past, but I'm still coming. With personal inconsistencies, but I'm still coming. With unresolved issues, but I'm still coming. With unfinished matters, but I'm still coming. With a praise in my mouth. Somebody ought to holler, Lord, here I come. It does not matter what it looks like. I know who my Redeemer is. I know who can bless me. I know who can keep me. Lord, here I come. Somebody hot, throw your hands up and say, God, here I come. I shall come forth. With praise in my mouth I'll come. As pure gold, lasting and finishing, solid and radiant, precious and valuable, illuminating, better than I started, ending well, finishing polished. God has blessed me. I'm going to look better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to live better. I'm going to walk better. I'm going to talk better. Somebody say better. Lord, here I come. Hallelujah. Tell your neighbor it's about time to get ready to present yourself. You didn't talk to them. Grab somebody by the hand who will stick their hand out and say, I'm ready to present myself. Bishop, how shall I present myself? Job said, though your beginning was small, yet at your latter end, you should be greatly increased. Now my presentation has to be full of personal praise. Tell your neighbor your presentation has to be full of personal praise. This is where David jumps in. David says, God said what he was going to do to bless you. God said what he was going to do to turn your situation around. God said how he was going to make it happen for you. But David said, now how you going to present yourself? How you gonna show up? And David opens his mouth and says, make a joyful noise. I need somebody in here who knows how to present yourself, who realizes you didn't make it by yourself, but God's been keeping you. He says, make indicates that my presentation is coming. Somebody help me preach. Tell your neighbor, my presentation is coming. Make a joyful noise. Make means to publicize, to reveal, to advertise, to broadcast. Where is the joy? Even though you had trouble, where is your praise? Even though you in a rough situation, where is your voice? Even when everybody tells you to shut up, where is it? Make a joyful noise. If God's been good to you, don't hold your peace, but magnify him. Grab somebody's hand and say, neighbor, oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. Make a joyful noise. Hallelujah. He said clearly, a joyful noise is a noise that has changing power. When you praise him, expect something to happen. I wish there was a few of y'all who can say, I expect when I get through with this next praise, God will have turned around some situations in my life. When I get through with this next praise, I'm going to see God's handiwork on my situation. When I get through with this next praise, the stuff I've been concerned with, God's going to make it happen. I'm telling you right now, if you can't shadow what you see, you need to start shouting right now over what you believe. Make some